Hey guys, we are back. It is June 17th. I am here with the wrestling boys. We got Wrestling Chill in the building, Bruiser. We got Ronnie Mack. And shout out to Luke behind the camera, always producing 100. So how you guys doing today?
Absolutely fantastic. It's Wednesday. Actually, it's not really a great day at all, Bob. I'm going to pass it over to Ronnie Mack. It's Wednesday. There's nothing good about Wednesdays.
It is terrible day. It's Wednesday. But you got to say, we're always styling, profiling, limousine riding. You know, have you ever heard the flare cry in a blue corn moon? I don't know.
Woo, brother.
Back to you, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I mean, what an electric intro. As always, Ronnie Mack coming in here, making me crack up before we even started with the New York Rangers. He's got the Yankees hat on. Marco, always the best. So I'm ready to get into it. Of course, we're starting with baseball today. Breaking.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here it comes.
From John Heyman, MLB and Players Union are closing in on an agreement to play the 2020 season via players. Deal expected to be prorated pay and included expanded playoffs. And then later, they do the format from Ken Rosenthal. The proposal includes 60 games in 70 days, season starting July 19th, 20th,
Wow.
Full prorated salary, expanded playoffs, yada, yada, yada. Oh, wait, final thing, waiving of any potential grievances. That's pretty important. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to pass over to Ronnie Mack. I guess my question is, as you guys have been following this like a hawk, is how the heck did we get from the most miserable outlook a couple days ago? We thought the season was going to be canceled to today. It's a lot of progress, Bob. Ronnie, over to you.
Thank you, Marco. And I'm going to just bring in a prop for this. And it's time to knock it out. We need a decision. The judge needs to come in and say, enough is enough. Are we going to play? Are we not going to play? Are we going to hang out? Are we not going to hang out? What's the deal? Because it's absolutely ridiculous. Tony Clark puts 1 foot in. Robbie takes 1 foot out. We need to know, is this real? Is it going to go forward? Do we have a deal set? They're saying it is, but now they're recanting. Oh, wait a second. They just sent, Rob just sent over the summary, a summary. What's the summary? Did he put a little, extra period in there or something that the Players Union doesn't like? I don't know, Jimmy. I mean, I want to hear what you got to say about this.
Yeah. So Rob flew out to Tony today, and they sat down together. I think they probably got the lawyers out of the room. They probably had some whiskey together because, I mean, at the end of the day, these are both just ballers. And they're like, all right, you tell your people that you're going to get paid everything. Let's knock it out completely. The billionaires are going to take a little bit of a hit. Robbie had to fold his hand yesterday. That's what I said. He's got to fold his hand. And then now we have talk radio going, all right, huge improvement in baseball. Not, Rob Manfred's doing well. When everybody wants to shit on him when times are rough. And when they turn around in 4 seconds, this guy, you can still lose him tomorrow. Enough of it, people. I just want to see baseball at this point because I really, really, really don't want to dye my hair blonde. I really don't want to do it.
Oh,
I mean, we're going to have the immortal Hulk Randazzo pretty soon. But I just want to add a couple more things. Sorry, Marco. I didn't know if you had something to say.
It's the hair. I want the hair. So
if
that's what it takes. Then
we can
to hell with the season.
Dress him in the red and yellow and give him a Hulkamania headband. That guy will take over the world. But anyways, I think that there needs to be a decision. We can't wait another week. We can't go the weekend. They need to figure this out by Friday when that letter, the beautiful letter signed with the Yankee pinstripes is coming out from the federal judge over in New York City, which I'm also a little
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. The Astros had an elongated, systematic way to cheat. The Yankees were using Apple Watches one time when everybody didn't know. Like, everyone got the Apple Watches. Everyone found out about it. And then the Astros started doing banging on the trash can. So anybody that's saying that the New York Yankees are cheating to the extent of the Houston Astros, anybody that you know, tell them to know their role and shut their mouth.
We need an answer. We need an answer, and it needs to happen this week. That's it. That's all I got to say. We need it.
It will. It will. And the chirpers, let the people hate. Haters going to hate. Just brush it off. Brush it off.
All right.
Marco, what are your thoughts?
Well, my last question is, again, from this is my new perspective, which is maybe good to have here with a panel full of experts, is what happened to the 6 owners who said they're not interested in playing this season? What do you make of that, Bob?
I think it's a lot of hearsay. I really do think it's a lot of everybody just wants to have a take. I mean, gosh, I had to do 4 takes this week. They're all pretty consistent with like, I just want to see baseball. But reporters need to report something. So if they sniff one way of the wind, they just go with it and back and forth. And that's why, that's why we are in the bind that we are in right now. And COVID problems too, always COVID problems.
And those six owners were probably the Tampa Bay Rays, okay, the Seattle Mariners, the Baltimore Orioles,
the Oakland
Toronto Blue Jays. Who else can we throw
Oakland
in there?
Athletics.
And the Milwaukee Brewers, because their slide needs refurbishments, so they can't open the park.
It's probably honestly, it's probably teams that have no chance to win. You don't hear any. To Paul's point, I was talking to him a couple of days ago, and he said you don't see any Baltimore Orioles coming out and saying anything. It's because they don't care. So some people just don't care at all because they're like, all right, what's 60 games of baseball? And then some people want to win championships like the New York Yankees. So we'll figure it out. All right. We're going to do a little segment here called What's Going On in Wrestling with Wrestling Chill. Obviously, the most outstanding, the flashing lights over at Wrestling Chill. Nobody better than the tag team champions of the world, Bruiser and Ronnie Mack. So what's going on?
Well, Bob, I don't know what Ronnie Mack had in mind, but I'm enthralled. I was very proud of Edge and Randy Orton for that match that they put on, dubbed as the greatest wrestling match ever before it happened. That's how they sold pay-per-view buys. And I don't know about Ronnie Mack. I think we had discussed and said, well, they can only fail. How do you call something the greatest wrestling match ever when it hasn't happened? So it seemed destined to fail. But, man, they lived up to it. And as I was watching it a second time, I was paying close attention. And I thought, could this be? If this was in front of a crowd of 60 to 90,000 fans, could this be potentially in the conversation? Ronnie Mack, over to you.
It was a good match. I got to say, we did discuss this off the record. It was entertaining. Edge actually did tear his tricep right off the bone during the match. Is out 4 to 8 months. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you got old guys who wrestle each other.
Yeah, so
Randy Orton,
explain this to me like I'm
real.
a 10-year-old. What's going on? Edge, they had a fight yesterday or something?
No, great question. Sunday at Backlash.
Edge, who you know and love,
yes,
retired for 9 years because he had neck surgery. He told me he'd never be able to wrestle again. He made an incredible surprise comeback.
Wow.
He debuted at your Royal Rumble, right? He debuted at the Royal Rumble, which you love. He eliminated Randy Orton in kind of good fun and jest, right? Randy whooped his candy ass and then RKO'd his wife, Beth Phoenix, on Raw.
God.
Built up to that last man standing match, which you and I and the three of us watched together at WrestleMania, which was brutal. And then it led to 1 month later, this 2 months, this pay-per-view at Backlash. And they just dubbed it the greatest wrestling match ever. Why? I don't know. But it was an outrageous thing to dub it as, and it ended up being a 5-star match for me. 35 minutes of just old school wrestling, minimal strikes, the bells and whistles, they left it out. This was just storytelling. They were storytelling with their eyes and their facial expressions, and the way the flow of the match was unbelievable. There was rock bottoms. There was sharpshooters. There was crippler cross faces. There was angle Olympic slams. They stole everyone's finisher. It was I haven't been compelled by a match in a very long time, Bob, and I felt refreshed and renewed. I was just very excited for where we are today. So he tore his triceps. That's the reality, and you couldn't even
right
tell
off the
during
bone.
match.
Right off the bone.
Apparently, it happened on a very basic move, but the guy's 40 plus, Bob, and he's got a lot of ring rust, and I guess he tore it off the bone. So we lose him for 2020. But Ronnie Mack, what do you think about them before we transition about bringing Christian back, his former tag team partner, to continue this feud with Randy Orton? Very creative.
That's what I was going to say, because I definitely agree because Christian's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. The Peep Show, the original Peep Show. Unbelievable transition. Bruiser always is on top of it. But I just to finish on top of that match, Edge is a fantastic wrestler. Fantastic. Love the guy, always did. Once that music hits, I turn into the 8-year-old kid in the Attitude Era. And, however, I don't even know how old I was. But anyways, Randy Orton may go in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest technical wrestlers. That guy was just to a T perfection in that match. And not taking anything away from Edge at all. Because they had a prior, I think Edge carried the last match. Randy was fantastic in this match. And you know what? He is a legend killer, and I think that they're kind of teasing that he may come back if he takes out Christian as the legend killer, which is obviously a T-shirt seller, which Vinnie Mac loves.
Loves the merch.
Love to hear it. Any final last wrestling thoughts before we get into the top 5?
No.
Yes, I actually have something to add,
okay,
Marco.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The COVID positive wrestler.
Oh, wow.
That was actually at the facility this past weekend. They just started taping today. They resumed taping. Vince McMahon seems to be, from what I've read, a small mental breakdown. It was a total cluster blank while they were trying to tape. So I'm glad to report that they have all been tested and they are back at taping. So that's some big news for the WWE.
Good.
AEW.
Always,
AEW too. Watch out. They're coming back. They just extended their contract. Look out for the AEW. Just saying.
All right. Let's get into the top 5.
Top five.
All right. We're doing top 5 wrestlers. I don't know if I told Luke to set up the
Producer Luke chiming in. I've come up with an order in the meantime because I realized that I didn't send out the order. So we're going to be going with Coach, Ronnie Mack, then Marco.
Wow, love to see it. You love to see it. All right. So
I'm sorry. I think Luke is just coming in. Yes. Okay. I got the order. Go ahead.
All right. I got to start off with, I think, the greatest wrestler of all time. And I'm not talking 90s era. I'm talking Ric Flair. Oh, whoa! The best technical wrestler of all time. I think I got to say it. I think it's got to be Ric Flair with the number and the song Ric Flair Drip. I mean, he is a legend. So I'm going with him number 1 overall.
I got to say, Marco, did you want to chime in on that? Because I know, hold on. Yeah, Marco's, yep. All right, Bruiser, do you want to chime in on that? I heard the production is ready to cut to you.
This is one of the most subjective top 5 things of all time, right? Ice Pops, it's not subjective. Blue is the best. There's no argument. But when you're talking wrestlers, you're starting to get shades of gray and opinions matter here, Bob. So if you want to argue top 5 is Ric Flair, you can argue that, and I wouldn't be able to fight you on that. Is he my top 1? Is he 5 or your 1? Let's just confirm that, Bob.
What?
Is he your number 5 or your number 1?
Number 1. No, it's just like a fantasy football draft.
Woo. Okay. All right.
And you know what? I was gonna go with The Rock. I was gonna go with him right away.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. I saw what Ric Flair ruined his life for wrestling. And that's pretty dedicated. That's dedication right there. That's dedication. So I had to start with
out of the ring. He's an icon, a mogul, and he embodied wrestling. He was Ric Flair in and out of the ring, and that you have to respect that. So fair answer there. Over to Ronnie Mack. I'm curious what you're going to say. I'm still undecided, which hurts. So I'm buying a little bit of time here.
Well, all right. Production says back to me. I will say. Ric Flair is a phenomenal man. Marco, should we do it together? WWE app is a fantastic app. A fantastic Ric Flair retirement documentary just came out, and it is just completely Ric Flairicious. I love it. But I will go. I gotta say it. He held the WWE/F title 2,803 consecutive days.
Mm.
We all have the heritage in us.
Mm.
He is the Italian strongman, Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, so this one's out of left field, Bob, and that hurts. That hurts to hear you say that, but James, in layman's terms, for the non-total wrestling fans here, Bruno Sammartino held the belt for what equates to 11 years, and that is why Ronnie Mack is saying that. Fun fact, Bruno Sammartino is Mike Tyson's favorite wrestler, so that's what he's talking about.
That's important.
So timelines.
Now you get two. You get two here.
Yeah. Okay. So I got to go around okay. So I think I'm just going to go with the highest grossing. That's what it's going to be about. It's not going to be about in-ring work. It's going to be about overall persona and buy rates. And number one is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number two is Hulk Hogan. As much as I loathe Hulk Hogan as a person for, let's not forget about the terms and the things that he said in private. You have to acknowledge that. But he was to do what he did, to just show up out of nowhere and revive wrestling because you're wearing yellow and red and you got crazy hair and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. And he did so little in the ring, yet people popped so hard. And he was the main man for so long. And even when he came back and he was 50 and 60, people were paying to see him. So number one, number two, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Great answers. Great answers.
Back to you,
Ronnie.
I just want to do the Ultimate Warrior version of Hulk Hogan. You selected Hulk. Hogan. But anyways, Warrior hasn't come out of me yet, but it will. And when I go full Warrior, you guys aren't going to be ready for it. But anyways, here it comes.
Okay.
This is going to be I get one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a also absolutely fantastic wrestler. Technical, may not be the biggest, but the guy is Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels.
That's a hell of an answer.
Absolutely. Absolutely unbelievable answer. All right. I got the swing here. I got two picks.
Yeah.
So I got The Rock, so I'm back in it.
Okay.
The Rock, I want The Rock to be president in 2028, so I'm really pumped about that. I think it's going to come. I think he's going to be a president one day. I just feel it.
Does it bother you that he was only hot for, call it 3.5 years though? Bob?
No, because when you're that hot, does it even matter? It's like saying we're speaking.
The Rock says, "Know your role and shut your mouth." There, Marco. Don't you knock one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
And then I'm going with The Undertaker with my other pick.
That's a
very
that's
hot
a fantastic
turn.
Pick.
Nice, really nice turn right there.
Because 7 feet tall. He comes out of the casket. What can you not say good about him? Wasn't he didn't he have 21 straight wins at WrestleMania?
21 straight wins, had what's believed to be the greatest match of all time at WrestleMania 25 with Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. You cannot argue with Taker at 3, Bob. Really
Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm getting into these drafts. I'm getting really into them because people are voting, and when you don't win, it hurts a little bit. It does. But it's very the girls are voting for the girls. I've seen a little bit of selective voting over there, so I'm keeping an eye on all of it. I'm really.
James, I thought I was going to get a contract from Nickelodeon for saying SpongeBob the other day, but I got nothing.
Dude, you know what's really funny, and I want to go back to that because I swear to God, I threw SpongeBob down on the list, and then I was like, I can't rig this thing. So great minds think alike. But go. Whose turn is it?
Who's Marco?
No, it's you. You have number 3.
No. You goes back to 2. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3.
Didn't you just say Undertaker, and then we're back in the middle to Ronnie Mack at 3? Ronnie Mack, what are your first 2 picks?
No.
We're at Ronnie Mack.
We're at Ronnie Mack.
What? Hold on.
Hold on.
The producer Luke is coming in, and it's my pick. Thank you. Thanks, Luke. Back to me. I'm sorry to do this to you, Bruiser. I know this is one of yours, and I was going to be a nice guy. But Bret, the Hitman Hart, the best there was. You can finish it, Mark.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. No argument from me, Bob, with the Hitman at 3. Any final comments before I take us to the turn?
Take it to the turn.
Okay. So this is tough because it's hard. I want to say some of the what you guys said. I really do. And you know what? I will be fair. Here. I'm going to put Mr. WrestleMania Shawn Michaels at my 3 because he might literally be the best in-ring worker of all time. That's just the fact of the matter. Cut an incredible promo, too. I hate him for what he did to Bret. I hate him for all the stories about him, of him being a total douche before he came back in 2002 and found God. And I'll always resent him for that, but I can't leave him out of my top 5 because of hate in his heart. So I'm going to go with WrestleMania 3. Number 4 is Triple H for me, Bob.
Wow.
And Ronnie, I don't know if that's controversial or not. I know he gets a lot of flack, too.
Oh, boy.
But
hold on. Wait a second. Cut him. Yep. All right. James, he should be gone. No, I'm just kidding.
He's just so compelling, man. The way he works, the punches, the knee to the head, and the thing. I don't know, man. He is the best heel of all time. Let me just say it. He's the best bad guy of all time.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, you could argue Flair. You could argue who are some other classic bad guys. There's plenty, but for me, Triple H, I don't think his work is appreciated as it should be. The guy was willing to get gory. He's put on terrible matches, but mostly he's put on compelling matches, and I'm going to recognize him there. And a controversial number 4, Ronnie Mack, back to you.
Wait, producer Luke chiming in again. If you guys can hear me over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Luke's coming in. Go ahead.
Was Ronnie Mack's second pick Shawn Michaels?
And you know what, Luke? I gotta say, I was already chiming in. I guess it didn't come through. Yes, Shawn Michaels was my pick.
Marco just tried to pick Shawn Michaels as his 3rd pick.
I told you to cut the tape, and it didn't go through. So I'm not sure. Hold on, we're gonna have to get Vince in here. Hold on 1 second.
All right, guys. You know what? I don't really know what's going on right now, but let's just continue the thing.
Yeah.
And, whose turn is up?
So Ronnie is on number 4, and then James, you'll have 4 or 5.
I kind of like the Luke chime in though, and shout out to Luke, who's honestly he's wet. He's wet from 3 right now. I'm seeing it all over his timeline. He's shooting hoops everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a Fisher Price. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-footer. Luke's got buckets. So shout out to Luke always. All right, it's my turn.
No, it's Ronnie Mack's turn with number 4, and then James is up with 4 or 5.
All right.
Come on, Ronnie Mack.
I did. Shawn Michaels was picked, so we may have to go back to that. I'm not sure. But But
you said you're number one. Then you said Shawn Michaels. Then you said Bret Hart. Now you have 4. So you're
right, but
4
we can't.
shots.
I don't think we can pick the same guy. Isn't
Of
that?
course we can. We
Oh.
have to.
Wait a second.
They're your top 5.
Okay, here comes. Here comes. I'm gonna go with. This is great.
Completely lost
This is internet gold. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say my top 5 would have been a little bit different. But I'll say right now, ooh, yeah. I'll give you the Macho Man right
Damn
now,
it.
Randy Savage.
Incredible answer.
Damn it.
Incredible answer.
All right.
That guy
So
deserves love.
yeah, of course. I'm gonna go with Sting here.
Nice. Wow. Good.
And then you know what? I don't know if Sable counts, but I did want to throw Sable in there. That's just an honorable mention. That's not counting on my wrestlers. I just, I spent a lot of times in the basement hanging out with her.
So why don't you pick a real number 5 and then Sable honorable mention?
Yeah, of course. My real number 5 is Andre the Giant.
Yeah, there it is.
There he is.
Good pick.
Absolutely. Have you seen how electric
he carried Hogan? He carried Hogan at the beginning of his career. Oh, he did. Don't you get me started. He carried Hogan. Watch the documentary. Andre the Giant is a fantastic person and wrestler.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. I just wanted to say, yeah, because he used to go on all the Tonight shows and stuff. Like he was on with Letterman. He would be on. He was doing it all. So was he the best wrestler? Maybe not. And also shout out to Sacco, because Mankind was my favorite wrestler of all time, and Sacco was the greatest. Sacco's the GOAT. Sorry. I just had to throw. I don't get to talk wrestling enough, so I just had to throw it out there.
We should be talking about it 24/7. That's the reality. This audience needs to get learned. Ronnie Mack, take us away. Number 5.
All right, so this is very difficult for my wrestling brain to come to a consensus to, because all I'm hearing in the back of my mind is multiple wrestlers. Everybody here knows that I am a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. I love him. I love the way he changed his name to Warrior. He is unbelievable. He is not in my top 5. He is an honorable mention. Another honorable mention is Phil, who calls himself the greatest wrestler in the world, CM Punk. Unbelievable wrestler, puts on great matches. He should come back to wrestling. But me and Marco have been put in this position before by our siblings, and we have put them in this position. It's called the Walls, with the knee in the center of the back.
Yes.
I gotta put Christopher, I'm a Canadian, Jericho in my top 5.
Yeah. No, he's been popping in and out of my head. The original Walls of Jericho is one of the greatest submission holds of all time, Bob. An incredible career. I mean, he wrestled from the late 80s, and he's still wrestling today. Held the World Heavyweight Championship belt in AEW up until a couple months ago. So you can't argue Chris Jericho anymore. You can't argue against him. Yes, he's smaller, but he deserves the credit. Love that answer, Bob. What I want Luke to do
of rock and roll. I'm sorry.
The Ayatollah rock and roll. Break the walls up. Hot theme music too. Cut a good promo.
If you don't pick this guy on the last pick, I'm gonna be shocked.
All right. So what I want Luke to do is, because this is not a fair question. Top 5. I hate top 5. We should have said top 25. We would have had a better time. But Luke, what I want you to do is write Bret Hart as my number 5, but I'm going to throw in a / Kurt Angle as my 5A, 5B, because Kurt Angle needs credit. One of the greatest finishers of all time, one of the hottest submission holds in the Angle Slam stuff. Hilarious, was a comedic genius, amazing entrance music, career that lasted an unbelievable amount, some of the bloodiest matches of all time, the prettiest moonsault of all time. Ronnie Mack, how are you going to argue against Kurt Angle? You can't.
I can't argue against Kurt Angle because he literally stands by the 3 I's. And it's integrity, intelligence, and
Intensity.
Thank you. It's been too long. But I got to say, I want to change my top 5 right now. Luke, can we do that?
No,
No, we can't.
No,
No, we can't.
No,
but I just remembered something.
No.
Hold on. Major League Baseball is coming in and still no agreement. But anyways, Vince McMahon is my number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 picks.
Wow.
That's the breaking news. On to you, Marco.
Wow.
I have a question, though. Nobody's saying John Cena? I thought you guys liked John Cena. No?
We did like John. We all love John.
I thought he's like
Cena.
top 10.
For like 2 years.
I didn't know which one of you guys liked him more because he had the Babe Ruth jersey on.
No.
That weird-ass match that happened in WrestleMania,
Yeah.
I will end it on this. That was the best match I've ever seen in my life. I thought I was tripping on acid. Maybe I was just having a little cabin fever up at the lake.
Yeah.
But either way, it was
It
ridiculously
was
good.
the greatest work of art I've seen out of WWE in the last 25 years. That's for sure. John Cena's in the conversation. A lot of people are going to agree with you, James. If you want to put him top 5, a lot of people will agree with you. And a lot of people will tell you he's not as bad a wrestler as us smart marks make it out to be. So
Wow.
that is fair. My honorable mention, Stacy Keibler. Hot
Yeah.
Mama. Huge crush, was the original crush for me as a young youth. Sable for you, James. Ronnie Mack, who you got? Honorable mention.
We're going to go, I got to say, and this may shock a lot of people, but Marco, I'm high on her. Charlotte Flair can battle a guy, can do whatever she needs. She is a Flair. But I got to say something. Hold on. James, I live in Connecticut. I called down to Stamford today and said, hey, I need some pyros. I need this show. We're getting the Daily Chill. I need to get some fireworks going in the background. They didn't come through. So I apologize for that. But I think this was a great show. I think we did a good job.
I think everybody did everything. Everybody did a wonderful job. It's great seeing you guys today. You guys made me laugh. Maybe baseball will come back. Maybe it won't. I think either way, I have to dye the hair blonde for July 4th.
Yes,
I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll be working on whether or not the mustache should be blonde. I don't want to go Antonio Brown, but I think I might have to. So we'll be in touch with that. Maybe we'll do a live to talk about the mustache.
I will try. If you do it, I will try and do it as well.
Wow, that's commitment. We love to hear it.
I'm just trying to get a haircut. I'm just going to be honest. I'm trying to get a damn haircut.
We know somebody who can cut hair, so that's good,
Why don't you
right?
just do the bowl cut?
I can't do it. I can't do.
Let's see the hair. Show the hair now. You got to show the hair now.
It's all over the place. I look like a 40-year-old wrestler. I'm turning into Hulk Hogan. All right.
Things
could be
worse.
Flat out.
Things could be worse.
Exactly. Shout out to everybody else. Shout out to producer Luke, as always, helping me navigate the oceans because God knows I need help. TheSportsChill.com. Fire, fire, fire.